Good morning, Year 3, and welcome back to week 10 of maths, where we're learning about time. Today we're going to learn to understand what AM and PM mean. But here are the answers to yesterday's task. If you'd like to pause your video or your computer for a second and just check your answers. Okay, so on to learning about AM and PM. So Ellie is going to a birthday party at 12:15 in the afternoon. And we would say that as 12:15 PM. We use PM to talk about time just after noon and just before midnight. PM. To get there on time, she has to leave the house at 11:40 in the morning or 11:40 AM. So 11:40 in the morning is 11:40 AM. We use AM to talk about time just after midnight to just before noon. So PM from after lunchtime, noon, midday, all the way up to midnight. AM from midnight to just before noon. So here we have a picture. It is 4 hours after midnight. The time is 4. I'd like you to have a think about whether that's AM or PM. And it is 2 hours after noon. The time is 2. And again, think about whether that would be AM or PM. So, because it's after midnight and before noon, the time is 4 AM. And because it's afternoon and before midnight, the time is 2 PM. So you really need to have a look at the language in the sentence to help you work out whether it is AM or PM. Mrs. Jones goes to work in the morning. She leaves home at 8. And is that AM or PM? Mrs. Jones goes home after work in the evening. She gets home at 6. Again, is that AM or PM? Now, it won't always tell you the time of day, as in the morning or the afternoon, but there might be another clue. Benji wakes up at, and we have a clock here. I'd like you to have a look at this, work out the time and tell me whether it's AM or PM. Mia eats her lunch at, and again, work out the time. Is it AM or PM? And Joseph goes to bed at. Work out the time, AM or PM. Pause the video and then we'll come back in a second and we'll go through it. So the clue in this sentence is she goes to work in the morning. So we know the morning is between 12 midnight and 12 noon. AM is what we write when it's the morning or between 12 midnight and 12 noon. Mrs. Jones goes home after work in the evening, so we know that that's PM. In this sentence, Benji wakes up. Well, we would hope that Benji would be waking up in the morning and he's not on some kind of night shift. So it's AM. Mia eats her lunch at 12:20. Well, we know that lunchtime is around noon. This is past noon, so it's into PM because it's between 12 noon and 12 midnight. And Joseph goes to bed. Again, we hope Joseph isn't another shift worker. Goes to bed at 8:30, and that would be in the evening, so it's PM. So bearing in mind that we know that AM is between 12 midnight and 12 noon, and PM is between 12 noon and 12 midnight, I would like you to complete these tasks, working out the time and then writing it down as AM or PM. And then we have some more questions for you to complete with AM or PM. So you need to look at the language in the sentence to help you work that out. And then have a think about some times in the day. Do you do them in AM or PM? You might come up with some more. In fact, for this question, you're going to write a list of the activities you've done during the past week and write down when you did them. You could maybe do a column of AM and PM. If you know the exact time, can you write the time down correctly? And then, for a bit of a challenge, can you show these times on a clock face? So, draw around something circular, write your numerals, and then can you draw the time, show the time on the clock faces that you have drawn. You might be able to find a template online that you can print off, but if you draw one by hand, I'm sure that will be absolutely fine. And we will go through the answers tomorrow.